fishing pole, subscribe on his channel, and go on the Peeler and watch his channel. Goodbye. See you tomorrow. We do a video. And subscribe on the channel.
What's going on, fishing folks? Welcome back to Guy with the GoPro Fishing Show. It's before work, and I just don't feel like dealing with below freezing temperatures right now when the before work bite hasn't even been promising. It's that time of year for me where the after work dusk bite is starting to produce again. So I want to show you guys a little hack involving floating jerk baits and being able to use them in the winter. And all it takes is a pair of pliers, a little bit of wire, I'll show you, different types of wire. Because basically all you're doing is adding weight to a floater to turn it into a suspender. Or a slow sinker. And it's going to take some tinkering, but you could also use those suspend strips, but if you just have some wire or heavier hooks or anything like that, you can turn a floater into a suspender or at least a slow riser suspender or slow sinker in this cold water. So let's get started. Alright, so for this little jerkbait hack here, you're going to need some wire, whether it's, some sort of alloy, like this happens to be vaping wire, it's Canthal. So it's going to be new to me how long it lasts before it starts to rust. You can use like those green floral wires, just some kind of steel or lead or metal alloy that's pliable, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this cotton cordell floater. I just like the color. I think it'll be good up at City Park, and I like to hook jerk baits. I like this size. This is about 100 millimeter. And what I'm going to do, instead of the Storm suspend strips, I am going to just wrap that wire around the shank of these hooks. So got the pliers there, got to get the bigger ones just to make the cut of the length of wire. And you don't need much. I just did it to two small floaters that I had, like the hit stick. I did it to that, and I did it to I accidentally bought a floater in the Strike King 100 size, which I thought it was a suspender. I shook it and everything, and there's big old rattles in it, but it's a dang floater, so that was my mistake. But let me just get this back in here so it doesn't all unfurl on me, and we will get started. So the easy way I found to do it is to take your wire length, straighten it out as best you can, cut it in half, since you're going to need to put it on two hooks. So find about where the middle is, make a cut, lay your wire length close enough, and then what I do is I take one end and just bend a little L in it. That way I can hold on to it with the angle nose pliers while I'm wrapping around the shank of the hook. So I'm going to hold that. not it's non sequitur here, but not a fan of Windows 11. I just got this desktop and not really digging it. It's basically like a phone. All it is apps, but this has more storage. And some more RAM. That's about it. So, as you can see, all I'm doing is making wraps around the shank of the hook. And it's going to take some finagling because it's going to want to slide down the hook shank. So, we'll hold our jerkbait here. And it's way easier with a bigger bait than it is those little ones, trust me. And you want to try to keep those coils, your wraps tight. That way you can get as many as you can around there. Because these dudes right here, these cotton cordels, I think I threw it once and it was so freaking buoyant. I was like, whoa. And it was already like fall or something. And I was like, nah, I'm putting this up. This is a spring into summer jerkbait for sure. And I should have been counting the wraps, so you know how many to do on each hook to keep it even. That way it's balanced in the water. But that was my bad. So I'll just wrap down the hook shank like I just did. And then make my final bend up here. But even if you don't vape, you can get wire either off like the internet or a vape shop. This is 26 gauge. And it's pretty dang easy to work with compared to the floral stuff that I put around those finesse jerk baits, because I do work for a floral company, unfortunately. So then I'm just going to cut that last part off and wrap it down so it's not sticking out. But use your pliers, don't use your you can use your fingers, but you're going to get poked. And then, there you have it, folks. So that's one. And then we're going to repeat the process on the front hook. And hopefully I can get it just as close. These are just little hacks to do when it's either you don't, feel like going out there in the elements before you got to go to work, like in this case scenario. And the morning bite has been garbage anyway. I did catch a little walleye the other night, but unfortunately I cannot use my production software until my new monitor comes today in from UPS, because that flat screen is from like probably 10 years ago maybe, and it doesn't have the resolution capabilities for the software. So it's always something, man. Alright, let me find here. And what I found easiest is to like somehow hold the tag you know, like the cut end of the wire with your pliers, and then hold the bait itself if you can. Oh, we gotta do it from the other side. That's how I'll be able to do it. No. Huh. You just, you know, want to be able to keep it taut until you get it started, if it's possible. I guess I'll have to wrap from the. Oh, now the pliers want to get in the way, huh? Okay. There we go. Alright. Once you get it started, it's way easier. But that's all I'm doing. And I'm not even using like double pliers because this stuff's that easy to work with as far as the Canthal goes. There we go. Try to keep it as tight as I can around the hook shank until I get down to about where the other one was, and then just cut it off like I did the back hook. And as far as I know, it's not gonna, I don't see how it could interfere with your hookups. So that, I'm gonna go with that just because it looks about close enough. Maybe I can do like one more around the bottom one here, and then I'm gonna cut it off. So obviously the heavier wire you use, the more weight it's gonna be. And you know, you'll have a faster sink. I noticed that yesterday because I did try, like I told y'all, I did the Berkeley hit stick with some thicker gauge stuff, and it had a moderate sink rate to it for being a floating jerkbait. So we'll see how these dudes work. But that's it. If you have any wire laying around, give her a try. And you know, you don't need much material. It's inexpensive. And you can throw your floaters in the winter. Just remember, keep your cadence slow and long pauses in between rips. And last but not least, the bigger the lip, the softer the tap of the rod. So All right, folks. Well, I hope you found this hack, something that you can apply to your fishing. Please remember to give me a thumbs up if you like it. Don't if you don't. I throw jerkbaits year round, but we all know how effective they can be, especially in the winter when that water is cold. So if you got a floater that you really like the color or the action or whatever, and you want to turn it into something that you can use in the winter, you either grab you some suspend strips, Storm makes them. You could probably get some off-brand stuff off the internet. I'm not sure how good that will work, but the wire trick also works as well. I tried it yesterday on some finesse jerk baits, and it does work. So that being said, y'all, this is Guy with the GoPro Fishing Show getting ready to go to work. Out for now, but just for now. Be easy, people, and be good to each other. Peace.